guys, how are you all doing? It's your girl Cindy, and I'm back again today with another gist. I trust you guys are doing great. I trust you guys are having amazing time out there today. Thank you so much for clicking to watch this video. So in today's video, I just want us to talk about our sister, this beautiful black woman, Jessica Petway. Now, if you don't know, in case you don't know, Jessica Petway was an OG YouTuber. Like, I do watch some of her videos, but recently Jessica passed away. Now, it is a sad one. I just want you to please stay with me. Let's just, watch this video. Like, it is so sad that Jessica went through all of this before she passed away. So Jessica Petway was misdiagnosed. She went to the hospital and they told her she had fibroid. Jessica went through pains and everything. Now, I read her story on Instagram. If you want to check it out, let me know in the comment. I'm gonna drop her Instagram, handle, so you guys can go over there and read her story. It is quite long. Yes, she was misdiagnosed. Now, from her story, Jessica said that, they told her she had fibroids, but she was still in pains. Not until, one of her appointments at the hospital, she said this particular doctor said to her that she needed to like look down there very well. And of course, the doctor did, and she said she couldn't see her cervix because it was blocked by a huge mass. Now, from her story, Jessica said that that doctor was the only doctor who showed concern, like who showed concern to actually find out what was wrong with her. So immediately this doctor scheduled another appointment for her, and according to the story, Jessica said that after checking her, the doctor casually told her she had cancer, stage 3 cervical cancer. And finally, she couldn't make it. She passed away recently, like I said, leaving behind two beautiful daughters and, of course, her husband. Now, Jessica's death is trending on TikTok because, of what happened, because majorly she was misdiagnosed. A lot of Black women are making videos, creating awareness. Like, literally, this is what we talk about. They don't really pay attention to mostly Black women in the hospital. I just want you to please see these videos from these Black women. Let's just, talk about it. Like, I couldn't hold back my tears when I was reading her story on her Instagram page. Please stay with me. Let's just listen to our sisters. And of course, I'm going to show you some comments. This video is to create awareness. If you have been following me on this channel, you would remember that I've shared my own story. Please check these videos out.
In other news, Jessica Petway has passed away from cancer. At just 36, right? But the rub is that she was misdiagnosed several times with fibroids and not cancer. Black women, I need y'all to do me a favor, okay? When it comes to your body, your health, advocating for yourself, knowing that something is wrong and no one will listen to you, be as loud as you think too loud is, and then be louder. Because if you do not, they will not listen and they will let you die. And then say, oh, well, we didn't know. Be loud and then be louder. And don't stop, because it will literally cost you your life if you don't.
PSA to all my women, especially if you're a Black woman, just stop for a second and watch this. So I don't know if you guys heard of Jessica Petway. She was like a major YouTuber, beauty influencer when YouTube was like first popping. But I don't know if you guys heard of her, but she recently passed away a few days ago because she was misdiagnosed. She actually had cervical cancer and they misdiagnosed her several times. and said she had fibroids. Being someone who works in the healthcare industry, I'm an ultrasound tech. I just have so many questions about how they misdiagnosed this woman with fibroids. So I'm like, how did they know she had fibroids? I'm assuming she had to have some type of imaging done, such as an ultrasound. And I'm like, based on the location of the fibroid, it didn't raise any eyebrows that this fibroid was sitting in her cervix or below her cervix. And all this bleeding she was having, no one thought, oh, let's do another imaging like an MRI, or let's do a biopsy right now. Or nobody gave her a pelvic exam. So it wasn't until she went to another doctor, and based on her highlights on her Instagram, it looks like the woman was a Black doctor, told her, can I just look down there to see? And immediately the doctor could see that there was a mass blocking her cervix. She couldn't even see her cervix. Now, mind you, she was having all these symptoms and bleeding, heavy bleeding at that, in the year 2022, and she wasn't correctly diagnosed until 2023. It just really breaks my heart that she was experiencing all this pain and nobody really cared enough. No healthcare professional took it upon themselves to just look and see. I feel so bad for her family. She had kids and a husband, and it just makes me sad, so sad. Literally, when I was 12 years old, I was misdiagnosed 3 times before they found out what was wrong with me. Had it not been for my mom advocating for me, who knows where I would be. But long story short, this message is just to simply say, ladies, just advocate for yourself. Advocate for yourself, please, because when your body is telling you something's not right, get a 3rd opinion, get a 4th opinion. You just have to, especially since they're saying that they're increasing the years for pap smears to be 3 to 4 years. No, I'm gonna go every year. But anyways, rest in peace to her. It's been on my mind ever since I saw the story. It's just so sad that it took a year to diagnose this lady correctly.
Yeah, I had to come on here and chat real quick. Seeing Jessica Petway passing away due to cervical cancer, it's not the fact that she had cancer, it's the journey for me. She actually told her doctors what was going on with her body and everything, and she was misdiagnosed. They kept thinking that she had fibroids, kept telling her it was just a fibroid issue. No one went through her body, no one gave her an ultrasound, no one did any of that nature to actually check to see whether or not she had cancer. I find it crazy when you are advocating for yourself, you're still being ignored, especially as a Black woman. That is really scary when you see stuff like that happening, if that makes sense. It also proves to me that you should never stop advocating for yourself. And I know I have done this before, and I wouldn't mind doing it again, even for myself. If no one's listening to you, find you another doctor, period.
So the internet just learned of Jessica Petway's passing today. And if you don't know who Jessica Petway was, she is an OG YouTuber who died of cervical cancer. Let's talk about it. So this serves as a PSA, mainly to Black women, but to all women, because we've all seen firsthand the implications of our broken medical system and how doctors just disregard our health needs. So Jessica Petway was having some fibroid issues, and they misdiagnosed her for a long time, up until 2 years ago when they diagnosed her with stage 3 cervical cancer. Then she spends the next couple of years fighting for her life and lost her battle to cancer last week. So I obviously have some very strong thoughts about this because this hits home. This is a home run for me. Let's talk about why. So when I started college, I started having some complications with my reproductive system. I started bleeding real heavy. I started having real bad abdominal and pelvic pain. My hormones were all out of whack, and I was misdiagnosed originally with PCOS. They told me I had PCOS for 6 years, and I kept telling them, nah, y'all, I think something else is wrong. But Like most black women, I was disregarded. I was neglected by our medical system. My pain was gaslit, pushed to the back burner. No one ever took me seriously. It wasn't until I moved to Arizona, what, 3 years ago, maybe 3 years ago myself, where I was accurately diagnosed with endometriosis stage 4. Although I was diagnosed with endometriosis, I still continued to be neglected. My pain was gaslit. I never got the treatment I needed, the medication I needed. I was always told that I was seeking drugs or my pain wasn't as severe as I thought it was. And the day before Halloween last year, they told me I had a tumor the size of a grapefruit on my right ovary that was malignant. When I tell y'all that reproductive struggle is so real, because they'll tell us that we're fine, nothing's wrong, we'll be okay, and then 2 weeks later they'll double back and tell us we dying. And how many times do black women have to experience something like this in order for us to be taken seriously? Like, it shouldn't have taken an additional 6 years for them to accurately diagnose me with endometriosis. I probably wouldn't have the tumor if they diagnosed me earlier. I definitely wouldn't. And honestly, that just goes to show that our world really just hates black women. I don't know. I could write a book about this one. Argue with your mama, not me. R.I.P. to the great OG YouTube queen. Y'all go get checked and don't stop advocating for your needs and your health. Period.
So I want to talk about the famous beauty YouTuber that has recently passed away, Jessica Petway. I'm going to put her picture somewhere in here. And I want to say this, I'm deeply saddened by the news. I didn't know her before, but I've at least had at least 10 women this morning send me her information. And she created a post about everything that she went through like a year ago, and her having cancer and just the whole process. I had to speak on it. First of all, I would definitely want to say that I'm sending my condolences to her family. She was a young woman. She was only 37. She has a husband and little girls, like babies. So it's just very extremely sad. And this is another example of how the medical industry fails women, especially black women, when it comes to our reproductive health. So based on the story that she told about a year ago or a year and a half ago, she was saying that she noticed that she was having very heavy bleeding. And it got very heavy with clots. She described her clots like huge clots. She said at one point they were like the size of a placenta, which is, I mean, my God, I can't even imagine. So bleeding so much where she had to rush to the hospital, had all these infusions, and the doctors just brushed this off as fibroids. They just brushed it off as fibroids. Okay, so then later on, the situation happened again where she was bleeding out, having to have all these infusions, bleeding out to the point where she's passing out. And then finally, after being examined, a doctor finally found out that she had a huge mass that was cervical cancer. Okay, so at that point, it was stage 3. Not sure what happened between that point and where now that she's passed away, but I will tell you this: cervical cancer, one of the root causes is estrogen dominance. And I talk about, if you watch my lives, I talk about this stuff. That's why I keep talking about it. Number one, when your cycles start being like, when things are going on with your menstrual cycle, right? When you're bleeding more than four days, I'm gonna keep saying that because people get upset when I say that. When you bleed more than 4 days, that's a risk, that's a sign, that's a red flag. When you're in pain, that's a red flag. Any type of cramps is a red flag. When we have these clots, these are red flags. And you've been told, a lot of women have been told that this stuff is normal. It's not normal. That's number one. Your menstrual cycle is your body's 5th vital sign, ladies. Okay, in case you did not know. So it's like a reflection, it's a mirror of what's going on the inside. And then number 2, estrogen dominance, knowing what these are, what this is. Estrogen dominance at its worst can lead to, yes, cervical cancer, breast cancer, endometrial cancer. These cancers are on the rise. This woman was only 37. This can happen to anybody. Who, again, let me make this clear. Estrogen dominance, when you get rid of estrogen dominance and rebalance your hormones, you take away the risk factors for all these issues. So if you're watching this and you have fibroids, listen up. Because you increase when you don't do anything, when you don't get to the root cause of the problem, you increase your risk factor for these cancers. Last year there was a YouTuber who had endometriosis, and now she's endometrial cancer. We gotta notice the risk factors, but we brush fibroids off as being normal. We brush endometriosis off, and we just do these surgeries, and we never address these issues from the root cause ever. Okay, so I just want to make that clear. It's a very, very, very sad situation. I mean, I wouldn't like, this is horrible for anybody to go through. And the fact that she went through all of this before passing away, pain, bleeding out. If you've ever been through anything like that, bleeding out like that, you understand like what that does to you. Okay. So I can't even imagine. Definitely sending my condolences again to her husband, her family. She's been married for a very long time. I, did a lot of research on her this morning. Very long time. She has little girls now without a mother, and it's just beyond sad. So I'm saying this to you. If you're listening to this and you have issues with your cycle, okay, you have heavy bleeding, you have fibroids, endometriosis. When you guys do these surgeries, they're not getting to the root cause. So what are you doing? You're again increasing your risk for breast cancer, cervical cancer, all these other cancers. So you need to do the work to make sure you reverse this early on. Reverse estrogen dominance. It is at an all-time high right now. Okay? Okay. That's pretty much all I want to say. Okay? I hope that this gets to somebody. Somebody will say, okay, listen, I gotta take my health seriously and stop brushing this under the rug and stop thinking that these surgeries is gonna save you, because it's not. You haven't got to the root cause of the problem. Okay? That's all. Okay? Bye.
Okay, y'all, when we gonna sound the alarm and take this seriously? Because I just found out that Jessica Petway just passed away, the beauty and fashion influencer. Yeah, I just found out she passed away from cervical cancer, and I am very concerned about the Black community's diagnosis of prostate, cervical, and colon cancer with young people. I'm talking 35 and under. Like, this is getting insane. And I mean, it's not just the Black community, because I've been actually on a rabbit hole for months about cervical and colon cancer and how people are finding out that they have stage 3 and stage 4, and they're like in their mid-20s, early 30s. And it is so concerning. And I have been so like paranoid because insurances aren't covering it before you're 45. But the thing that's really blown my mind about this particular story is that Jessica was actually misdiagnosed. They told her she had fibroids when she in fact had a mass from cervical cancer. And as someone who was experiencing a lot of pelvic pain and pressure last early January, and I found out I had 3 fibroids, but this year during my pelvic exam, they refused to follow up about it. It's just concerning, because it's like, bro, y'all don't take my health seriously. But it's like, when you have a lot of things going down there, it is concerning, and it should be concerning. There are just too many people getting diagnosed with ovarian cancer, cervical cancer, uterine cancer, fallopian tube cancer. Between the misdiagnosis and insurances not covering us getting screenings, we are literally doomed. And we are set up to die. So what do we do? What do we do?
So I know that we all remember this creator here. Her name's Jessica Petway. She's like a YouTuber OG. She's one of the first YouTubers I followed when I first went natural. It was she and Ambrosia on YouTube, Exo Golden. And I just found out that she passed away from cervical cancer, stage 3. And that is so heartbreaking to me. And it literally dropped a pit in my stomach, because she's so young. Like, this woman's only 37. And she's a wife and she's a mother to 2 young children. And it's just so sad, because she was misdiagnosed with having fibroids for years before she received her proper diagnosis of cancer. And it seems like between the time that she received her proper diagnosis and her passing away was only 3 months. Like, that's so sad to me. And it's just very frustrating that we're in the year of 2024 and Black women are continuously dismissed and not heard when we speak about our medical concerns. Because the fact of the matter is that if she were listened to years ago when she first started reporting symptoms of blatant cervical cancer, this could have been avoided probably. So yeah, this is sad. Maybe I'll use this as a reminder to keep on track with our yearly women exams and pap smears. But rest in peace to Jessica. Prayers to her family. This is sad.
Like,
I don't get it. I don't understand what is happening. Because, so that story about that, OG influencer, has come across my timeline. And as a person who has been diagnosed with fibroids, it is baffling to me. It's absolutely baffling to me how we are supposed to be this superior nation, yet and still, Black women are still dying. And I understand. I felt the apathy too. I'm going to be real. I felt the apathy too about this year. Like, I feel like our political system is not working anymore. And, just with the fact that they thought that banning TikTok was more important than getting anything else passed. This influencer got misdiagnosed with fibroids, and it was really cancer. I have fibroids, and I can't afford. I've literally been living with these since the diagnosis. I've been living for 2 years trying to get the money up to get the surgery, to get the ultrasounds, to do the doctor's visits. It's crazy. It's crazy. I don't get it. I don't understand why we allow these things to happen to us. When I'm literally reading stories about people going abroad. It's cheaper to go abroad. Flight included, trip included, to go abroad to get IVF. Going to different countries. I saw people going to different countries for fibroids. If I can figure out how, hopefully if I post this video and the algorithm brings me back to the videos where the girls are going abroad for their surgeries for the fibroids, I hope they do, because I need a myectomy like yesterday. I was in Target literally gushing. Like, I was in Target afraid that I was about to have an accident. The blood was just coming out so violently. I have no other way to say it. So yeah, I don't know what we're doing. We're in March of 2024. November is the election. Honestly though, guys, it's really not lesser of two evils, more of, if we keep a democratic majority, that's going to affect all of the other things that we need to happen. This is not the time to let our apathy get to us. This is not the time for us to let our apathy eat away and take away our vote. Because honestly, all of the systems, Biden is going to be Biden. The president really doesn't have that much power. It is the Senate and the Congress. Those two branches have all the power, and the judges. And because we let Trump get in, he was able to turn the Supreme Court and flip it to have a conservative majority. So that is why it is important that we don't let apathy get to us. That is why I will not let apathy get to me. But it's real hard when I'm standing in Target trying to not freaking out because I think I'm going to bleed all over the place because I can't get the care I need. I see an influencer who passed away because she could not get the care she needed in America. In America. And it doesn't have to be like this. It doesn't. It doesn't. You can't have all that. You can't take all that money with you. You can't. All your people about 11 generations down are good with all that money. Please get up off of our necks. For the love of God, get up off of our necks. We are drowning. Millennials are drowning. Elder millennials, we're drowning. We are sick of it. 9/11, recession, Pandemic, another recession, inflation. We are sick and tired. Please get off of our necks. Whew. America is ghetto. Point blank, period.
I am so tired of Black women having their pain ignored or dismissed. I am also so tired of our families being left to mourn. The medical system failed Jessica. The medical system failed Jessica in a way it often fails Black women. I just want to ask us to please keep praying for her family, keep praying for her daughters, keep praying for her husband. So I took some screenshots of comments so you guys can, read from other Black women. Please advocate for yourself. Advocate for yourself. Let's keep creating this awareness. Let's keep talking about it because this is 2024 and it's still happening. It is still happening. Please. Anyways, guys, I just thought I should, share this video with you. I just thought I should bring the story of Jessica to you. Like I said, if you want to check her Instagram page, let me know in the comments so I can drop it for y'all to go, read her full story. And thank you all so much for watching. Please don't forget to share this video to other women to see. This is very important. Thank you guys so much for watching. Rest in peace, Jessica. We love you. We miss you. This shouldn't have happened. It shouldn't. I'm gonna see y'all in my next video, guys. Take care. Bye.